Nestled in the far reaches of eastern New York, it stood as a relic of the past, its weathered facade telling tales of a bygone era. Whispers of haunting echoed through the halls, as if the spirits of yesteryear still clung to its time-worn walls. This was my uncle's house, a place of mystery and intrigue, where the past and present converged. On a moonlight evening, my uncle's friend and her sister sought refuge within the ghostly embrace of this fabled abode. As the night wore on, they were blissfully unaware of the spectral secrets that awaited them. Restless sleep gave way to awakened senses as my uncle's friend stirred in the darkness. Her eyes widened as she beheld a sight that sent shivers coursing through her spine. Slowly descending the staircase, like a phantom from another time, was a maid carrying fresh towels. The flickering candlelight danced upon the maid's face, casting a glow that illuminated her features. Barely containing her astonishment, my uncle's friend watched the maid vanish into the shadows. Bewildered but intrigued, she resolved to investigate further. Little did she know that her journey into the unknown was only just the beginning. Morning broke, and with it came a renewed sense of curiosity. Descending the staircase, my uncle's friend anticipated the bustling presence of a diligent maid preparing breakfast. Instead, she found my uncle and his friend engaged in casual conversation, their expressions void of any acknowledgement of the spectral visitor. Inquisitive, she posed her question, her voice filled with a mix of anticipation and confusion. Where did the maid disappear to? I thought she was busy cooking breakfast. The words hung in the air, awaiting an answer that would unravel the enigma. Perplexed, my uncle's brows furrowed as he sought to comprehend her inquiry. Maid? What maid? He replied, his voice in genuine bewilderment. Eager to shed light on the mystery, he pressed further. Can you describe her? My uncle's friend explained the maid's appearance, her every feature etched into her memory. A glimmer of realization danced in my uncle's eyes as he led her into the living room, where a portrait from the past adorned the wall. Pointing at the aged canvas, my uncle's voice resonated with a mix of reverence and amusement. Ah, that woman you saw, she has been dead for about 100 years. The revelation hung heavy in the air, leaving my uncle's friend speechless, her mind swirling with questions that demanded answers. Sunlight filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow upon the opulent interior of my uncle's house. The grandeur of the living room enveloped my uncle's friend, who marveled at the sumptuous furnishings and intricate details that spoke of a lavish lifestyle, befitting the abode of a successful neurologist in bustling New York City. As the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air, my uncle and his friend found themselves engaged in a lively conversation. Their dialogue was a dance of wit and curiosity, each word a step closer to unraveling the mysterious events of the previous night. Curiosity gnawed at my uncle's friend, prompting her to inquire once more about the vanished maid. Her voice carried a delicate blend of uncertainty and fascination. I thought she was cooking breakfast. Where did she disappear to? She asked, her eyes fixed upon my uncle, seeking answers. My uncle's face bore a perplexed expression as he contemplated her query. The lines on his forehead deepened with concentration before he finally shook his head in bewilderment. I have no idea what you're talking about. There was no maid here, he responded. Intrigued, my uncle's friend pressed on, her determination fueling her search for the truth. But I saw her, clear as day, bringing towels and a percolator down the stairs. I thought you had hired staff to tend to your needs, she insisted, her voice laced with genuine curiosity. My uncle's laughter filled the room, a hearty sound that echoed against the ornate walls. With a mischievous glint in his eyes, he motioned for her to follow him, leading her to a room adorned with vintage photographs. In the heart of the living room, my uncle gestured towards an old photograph, its sepia tones hinting at a distant past. The portrait depicted a woman, her eyes filled with determination and a sense of purpose. My uncle's friend gasped, her hand instinctively reaching to cover her mouth in disbelief. That's her, the maid I saw, she exclaimed, her voice trembling with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The pieces of puzzle began to align, and the truth hung in the air, fragile yet undeniable. My uncle's voice held a mixture of nostalgia and amusement as he revealed the long-held secret. You see, my friend, that woman in the photograph. She has been dead for about 100 years. She was the very soul that once inhabited these halls, he confessed, his words dancing upon the air like a whispered secret. Silence enveloped the room as my uncle's friend grappled with the weight of this revelation. The old house, nestled among towering trees, stood as a relic of the past. Its weathered wooden facade told tales of a bygone era, evoking a sense of history and mystery. One particular afternoon, with the weight of solitude upon me, I found myself ensconced within its time-worn walls. As I roamed the vacant rooms, a symphony of silence enveloped me. The air was heavy with the scent of age and memories long forgotten. Shadows flickering, casting fleeting images across the worn wallpaper. The house seemed to hold its breath, waiting for something or someone. But then, a sound, so delicate yet unmistakable, reached my ears. From downstairs, a soft sweeping echoed through the empty hallways, the rhythmic swish of bristles on ancient floorboards, each stroke erasing the vestiges of dust and time. It was a sound both eerie and comforting, as if the house itself longed for tidiness and attention. Curiosity tugged at my being, urging me to descend the worn staircase. With each step, the sound grew louder, its ghostly presence becoming more pronounced. As I approached the landing, a symphony of sound unfolded before me. The tinkling of china and crystal resonated from the dining room, intermingled with joyous laughter and the rhythmic crackling of an old Victrola. It was as if a clandestine party was in full swing, hidden from mortal eyes yet carried on by spectral guests. The delicate melodies of yesteryear wafted through the air, mingling with the aroma of unseen feasts. Heart pounding in my chest, I ventured further. The sounds grew louder, more vibrant, and I could almost taste the excitement tingling on my tongue. But as I stepped into the dining room, the enchantment abruptly halted. Silence engulfed the room like a sudden winter's freeze. The music ceased, the laughter faded, and the grandeur of the past dissolved into thin air. All that remained were the remnants of an abandoned party, a specter fading into memory. I stood there, a lone witness to the transient revelry, trying to grasp the ephemeral nature of what I had just experienced. The house returned to its former quietude, its secrets locked away once more, awaiting the next unsuspecting soul to cross its threshold. As I delve into the depths of the town's online newspaper archives, my curiosity intensified, fueled by a burning desire to unravel the secrets within those creaking walls. In the dimly lit study, I hunched over the computer, eyes fixated on the flickering screen. Dust particles danced in the golden rays of sunlight that streamed through the small, worn-out window pane. The rhythmic ticking of the antique clock echoed through the silence, lending an air of anticipation to my quest for answers. As I meticulously sifted through countless digital pages until finally I stumbled upon a treasure trove of information. The address of my grandparents' house emerged from the sea of text, transporting me back in time to an era long ago. With each click, the stories unfolded like long forgotten whispers from the past. The family that had laid the foundation of this very house had a daughter, a solitary figure who spent her entire life within these walls. Unmarried and devoted, she selflessly cared for her widowed father until the hands of her time gently led her to the embrace of old age. In my mind's eye, I envisioned her, a spectral presence woven into the very fabric of the house, a woman of gentle demeanor, her footstep light and airy, traversing the ancient wooden floors with grace and purpose. I could almost feel the warmth of her nurturing spirit, a touch that lingered long after her physical form had faded away. The daughter's existence bridged the gap between the past and the present, connecting generations in an unseen tapestry of care and devotion. She became the cornerstone of my grandparents' lives, extending her watchful gaze beyond her own kin to encompass those who now resided within the house she had once called home. Over the years, whispers had traveled through the family's collective memory, tales passed down like heirlooms. The vacuum cleaner, awakened by unseen hands, hummed to life, dutifully ridding the floors of the dust and remnants of everyday life. Clothes and towels, carelessly discarded the night before, found solace in the spectral embrace, folded neatly and placed at the foot of the bed by the break of dawn. It was as if the helpful ghost, the daughter who had never relinquished her caretaker role, had found solace in tending to others beyond the boundaries of time. The stories I unearthed blended seamlessly with the experiences of my family, forming an intricate web of connections that defied rational explanation. As I closed the digital archives, a newfound sense of awe settled within me. This gave me a sense of closure from my aunt's bewildered story. One evening, as twilight embraced the world outside, my aunt, Maria, sat in the cozy living room, engrossed in a gripping novel. The room was adorned with vintage furniture, its plush upholstery worn with love and time. Soft lamplight bathed the room in a warm glow. Suddenly, a faint hum reverberated through the house. Maria's gaze darted toward the corner of the room, her heart quickening with both curiosity and unease. The vintage vacuum cleaner, an artifact of a bygone era, stood dormant in the corner, as if awaiting an invisible command. A gasp escaped Maria's lips as she watched in disbelief. The vacuum cleaner, devoid of any human touch, sprang to life, its motor roaring to action. It glided across the room, devouring invisible specks of dust along its path. Maria's eyes widened, a mix of awe and trepidation filling her being. "Is this really happening?" she muttered under her breath. Caught between fear and fascination, the vacuum cleaner continued its chore, as if guided by the gentle touch of the helpful ghost, leaving a trail in its wake. The encounters didn't end there. My cousin Jonathan, a pragmatic soul with a penchant for skepticism, found himself at odds with the spectral presence that defied rationality. Late one night, as he trudged warily up the creaking staircase to his room, he paused at the top landing, overcome by a peculiar sight. Garments, discarded haphazardly on the floor before bedtime, now lay meticulously folded and arranged at the foot of his bed. Jonathan's analytical mind raced to find a rational explanation, searching for a thread to unravel this enigma. But the air was thick with the inexplicable, challenging the boundaries of his logical reasoning. With a mix of awe and perplexity, he gingerly touched the neatly folded fabrics. The texture was cool and smooth against his fingertips, as if touched by an unknown presence. A realization settling deep within his consciousness. The helpful ghost, the daughter who had dedicated her life to care for others, had extended her benevolent touch to Jonathan's realm.